Taking an image, freezing a moment, reveals how rich reality truly is. They say a picture tells 1,000 words, even when words themselves fail us. Photography is an art of observation. It freezes moments, especially those in history. Pictures are able to capture the good and the bad times. Remember when the lenses of a camera captured the uprising of the youth in South Africa, where they were fighting for freedom, where they sacrificed their lives for freedom. Remember when the lens of a camera captured Hector Peterson. Remember when the lenses of a camera captured the historical moment when Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and freedom was our victory. And these memories, to some of us, were experienced through pictures. The best thing about a picture is that it never changes, even when the people in it do.
Enactus University of the Free State is that camera, capturing highly defined economic value for beneficiaries, striving towards delivering picture-perfect standards of living for those who most need it.
Welcome to our design studio, where in the previous year, our creatives scripted Project Sprouts Africa, a triplicate project focusing on 3 core issues: food security, green energy production, and water efficiency in 3 different locations.
We are working with Tlhokomelang Bana, an NPO that supports child-headed households in Zestron. We are supporting 20 small-scale farmers that are based in the Eastern Free State town of Qwaqwa and have enlisted support with Youth in Action, a local reputable NGO. Lastly, we have adopted the multi-stakeholder approach towards commercializing subsistence farming, therefore tackling malnutrition in Kota village, Malawi. The pilot of Sprout has been so successful that it has generated 41,200 rands in grants, sponsored by Unilever, Harmony Gold, and General Electric. All this was achieved in just a few months of its startup.
More businesses with the potential for good social concepts are currently being scripted, shot, and edited in our design studio. What we just shared with you was a trailer of one of our most exciting projects to date.
Now moving swiftly into the scene of our first project showcase, we introduce to you the Crafters Workshop. The craft sector is estimated to employ 1.2 million people and contributes a staggering 3.4 billion rand to the economy every year. More than 200 arts and craft entrepreneurs are registered at the Department of Arts and Culture in the Free State. The craft sector has seen exponential growth and visibility over the past decade. NGOs and governmental departments alike are embracing this sector as a means of combating poverty and raising awareness about social ills in communities.
Many lenses have been captured in the province of the Free State as having culturally rich people with a deep-seated heritage. Residing in the heart of the Free State has resulted in an appreciation of its people's diversity. This diversity is celebrated through nationally renowned cultural festivals such as Vryfees and Makufe. Further supplementing these are colorful market days, planned and attended in communal solidarity for the enjoyment and benefit of the community. Fortunately for many, the celebration of its people's rich cultures and artisanal talents has become a window for entrepreneurship and job creation.
The Crafters Workshop, proudly sponsored by Harmony Gold, a hub focused on enterprise development for diversely talented local arts and craft entrepreneurs to equip them with skills that will enable them to sustain and build their businesses, whilst also sustaining and creating employment.
This is how the project works. Arts and crafts entrepreneurs apply to join the Crafters Workshop. The existing application form is designed to evaluate the applicant's knowledge and use of marketing strategies, financial controls, and to determine if the entities are registered and able to access support from government agencies, corporate enterprise, and supplier development initiatives. Craftpreneurs with business or operations that show potential to do well within the market and a genuine need for our intervention are accepted.
Selected craftpreneurs then form one cohort. This group then attends 20-week workshops on a fortnightly basis. The workshops comprehensively cover content from marketing, financial, and business development processes. At the end of the 20 weeks, our craftpreneurs are expected to compile a pitch in front of our board of advisors where the skills transferred at the workshops are assessed. Successful craftpreneurs will then be granted certificates of completion for the workshops.
Once a month, our craftpreneurs are tasked with exhibiting their products at local arts and crafts markets.
Ma'am Asheke Shabalala is one of our craftpreneurs. She unfortunately lost her leg due to being shot and amputated in the year 2000. In 2015, she lost her husband, leaving her devastated, a widowed mother of 3, solely dependent on a social grant.
Mayor Shabalala did not let her circumstances deter her in her quest to provide for her children. She joined the Tumahole Arts Market. In 2017, she, along with other Tumahole craftpreneurs, formed the second cohort of our project.
Her business revenues suffered due to a shy and soft-spoken manner. However, through participation in our workshop, she was able to break out of her shell, and she now demonstrates visible confidence at market days, and her business revenues have shot up, being 150% higher in 2018 as compared to 2017. Through government intervention, Mayor Asheke Shabalala jetted off to Turkey, where she attended a 2-week workshop based on beadwork and arts and craft business management.
The success of our second cohort has inspired us, and we will soon be releasing the sequel, The Craft Corner, a consignment store that will be housed at hotels, guest houses, restaurants, and coffee shops, which are located in areas with a high concentration of tourist and economic activity within the Free State Province.
The consignment store will provide our craftpreneurs with an additional and steady stream of income. Products will be bought from our craftpreneurs and sold at the consignment store based on consumer buying patterns on market days.
We have pressed play on this wonderful concept and negotiations that will see our craft corner being housed at a reputable local hotel and Taboga are at an advanced stage. Sun International's Sun City have agreed that we can exhibit for free on market days.
To ensure the sustainability of our craft corner, it will be partly owned by Enactus UFS and area managers. Enactus UFS will assist with startup capital, which will provide branding, decor, and startup stock. Startup stock will be procured from our craftpreneurs and sold at the consignment store, while area managers will assist with the day-to-day running of business operations.
All cost drivers, such as material, delivery, and rentals, will be kept as low as possible without compromising the quality of the product. And, for example, rental costs will be negotiated to be based on sales level as in the consignment agreement.
Our craftpreneurs have become increasingly environmentally aware. They now use material waste products to produce other byproducts, such as necklaces and earrings. They also use organic substances, such as potato peels, lime, and rooibos tea to make clothing dye.
The Crafters Workshop 2018 won social enterprise, 5 craftpreneurs, 127 training and mentorship hours, social cohesion achieved, community heroes birthed, and a 38.5% increase in average revenues.
Due to the rapidly increasing rate of urbanization, more than half of the world's population lives in urbanized areas. It is in fact estimated that this figure will increase to 6.5 billion people by the year 2050.
Now, looking at the South African context, the gold rush triggered rapid urbanization in the Republic, seeing migrants flocking into the mining areas that are now known as modern-day cities.
Up until this present day, people travel from rural to urban areas in search of employment opportunities, leaving their families behind. These migrant workers are breadwinners and carry the responsibility of providing for their families. And due to the long distance and extensive working hours, they can hardly travel back home.
Take Jabu, a migrant laborer in Bloemfontein. In conversations we had with him, he shared his difficulties. Difficulties about coordinating trips between his job in Katu and his current place of residence in Bloemfontein. He also has a daughter, a young girl who wishes to spend time with her father, but sadly, due to the lack of reliable communication along the journey, Jabu feels uneasy letting his only daughter travel by herself.
Because of Jabu's socioeconomic standing, existing travel options are either too expensive, unavailable, or are inefficient. Taking these factors into account, we conducted a thorough needs assessment with the local public transportation system and have developed an interest in venturing into the taxi business due to the following reasons. Wide-scale availability with 200,000 taxis, 2,600 taxi ranks, and 15 million people commuting daily on a national scale. And secondly, our friendly pricing for lower and middle-class families. And lastly, our quick turnaround times.
However, we will also notice the following shortcomings within the taxi industry: lack of ICT integration, poor record keeping, poor communication and marketing the existing services. And our answer to this,
Roma.
Translated, send us. We are a platform that digitizes taxi services and hence improving how taxi associations communicate their value proposition to their 90 billion rand market. Our platform is offered to all taxi associations for free and offers the following features.
An admin feature that uses a spreadsheet that will enable taxi van clerks to capture passengers' information, such as a physical address, cell phone number, and next of kin details. This platform will then use the spreadsheet to create a contact list that can be sent as an SMS with a unique link. This link can also be shared with loved ones and is similar to the technology used by companies such as Uber and Taxify.
Now, remember Jabu? This feature is for him. Now he can never lose track of where his daughter is from the beginning to the end of the journey. The taxi tracking feature on our platform allows taxi associations that already offer taxi courier services to add value for their customers, and that the customers can now track their own parcels.
Yes, that is correct. Using a taxi to courier parcels is a thing. It is a service long-distance taxis offer, helping breadwinners to send that box of school shoes home and assisting small business owners in sourcing materials and delivering the finished goods to their most valued customers.
There's also the group booking feature on our platform. This is where trip organizers can request quotations from the taxi associations that have registered on our platform. The system will then automatically notify the taxi owners of the quotation request. To further improve the services, we intend on assisting the taxi associations to develop a quotation template. This is where users can ask for any additional documents such as the BEE certificate or the tax exemption documents. This will streamline the process even further, ensuring that our platform is a one-stop shop for any trip organizers.
But how do we sustain this platform? And what value is this project creating for the society? Well, we project that our service will be sending SMSs to 40% of its 200,000 operating taxis, which is 80,000 taxis per day. This will create an opportunity to sell advertiser space and is similar to the Please Call Me adverts that network operators use to generate additional revenue.
We'll also be selling the pop-up space on our platform. This will generate an estimate amount of 75 rand per month. The advertisers will be paying for a guaranteed coverage on our platform, hence placing their brand on the hands of 15 million taxi users. The revenue will be then reinvested in other projects such as the driving school project.
In line with our theme of changing the lens, our team is all about altering perspectives, and we have taken this literally by creating a company called Creato Media, a photography company which will act as the commercial wing of our team.
This year, we volunteered 4,401 hours. We are creating a platform for 15 million taxi users, supported 5 craftpreneurs to increase their revenue by 38.5%, and even started our own business.
And this is just an example of business for social good and good business. And where there's a camera, there's always action. I am Somila Gwai, second-year communication science student.
And I am Retlamentso Khangwanyani, BCom accounting third-year student.
Tabiso Ramorara, second-year law student.
I am Yolandi Presalaglo, third-year LLB student.
We are Enactus University of the Free State, and we are
Changing the Lens.
Everyone here, please join me again in thanking the University of the Free State for their presentation and hard work. We will now begin our question and answer session. Thank
Thank you, team. I have two questions based on your Crafters Workshop project. I just need to understand what actions have you taken just to measure the social impact of that project? And then the second question is that should the demand decline from the targeted consumers, is there potentially another business opportunity so that the crafters are not just dependent on the crafters' business?
For an example, we have stated that we are in talks with Sun City, which currently has about 600,000 people coming there annually, which means that there's a lot of platforms, even if there's like different projects within our Craftpreneurs program. So if there's a case of a product not not being in demand, there's always a platform for them to try out new things. They're craftpreneurs, so we're giving them the skills to actually try out even new things. We have a training and mentorship program, as they said.
And how we will measure impact. Even though we have 5 craftpreneurs, they have direct impact. We've measured it by direct impact and indirect impact. For direct impact, they are able to provide for their families, and we have assumed that each family have about 25, including the extended family. And then when we talk about indirect impact, we talk about the community, the exposure, because in a community, if there's a person with arts and crafts, obviously they're gonna be people who are attracted to that community, and also people will be motivated. Also, our craftpreneurs, they offer workshops in their communities and in the schools.
Pelelane Sindani from National Governors Association. Romarona, how is this different from Uber? Because there's Uber already in terms of tracking a car and so forth. My second question, we know that most of taxi drivers are illiterate. So how are you going to teach them to understand this particular app that you are coming up with? Thank you.
So basically, we are not swiftling from the current existing market of taxi industry. Taxis, you have to go to the taxi rank to get a taxi. So what we're using is just the system of Uber and Taxify by digitalizing the entire thing, but making sure that you're able to communicate, you're able to see where your package is going, you're able to see where you're going to land. So we're not using Uber and Taxify's type of system, but the system of digitalizing it. And yeah.
Also, when in design of this project, we understood that there are a lot of people who will always use taxis. So we made sure that there will be an admin clerk that will receive training from our ICT department at school. So it won't necessarily be the taxi drivers who communicate. It will be an admin clerk at the taxi associations.
Nwanda Khoza from CEDA. With regards to Roma Rona, I'd just like to find out what is the time frame that you will be utilized if there's a potential risk of the end user not being able to come on time to pick up the package or the child that has been transported.
Thank you. With regards to the time frame, taxis travel each and every single day from one point to another, which means that when you transport your parcel with us, chances are you're going to receive it on that day. In cases where the person is unable to come and collect the parcel, there'll be a storage space at each and every single taxi rank where we'll be operating, and they'll be able to be stored in this place, and they can make an arrangement to pick it up later.
Hello, I'm Felicia Fanikiso from KPMG. I just have a question on Roma Rona. I want to know what's the impact so far on the livelihoods of your target audience?
In terms of livelihood, we have realized that there is a negative generalization when it comes to taxi industries. And also, when we had talks with the people who use taxis, they also feel uneasy that when people think about them, they always have a negative thought towards them, because also they are working and they are also trying to fend for their families. So now it's part of the triple bottom line, the social part.
Thank you very much, University of Free State. Your time is up. Can we thank them for their presentation?